You know that weird thing where you apologize to a waiter for their mistake? That got installed at age 7, right between eat your veggies and don't talk back. These weren't quirks. They were generational glitches, passed down like a family curse. Today, we're unpacking 10 of them. And number 7, that one hits like stepping on Legos. Emotionally, let's start. Number 1, the stop being so dramatic trap. Stop being so dramatic. Translation: your feelings are a Netflix performance, not reality. Except you weren't auditioning for Broadway. You were 7. Your goldfish died, and that was the worst thing that had ever happened to you. Child Mind Institute research shows kids who get labeled as dramatic don't grow out of it. They grow around it. They learn to bottle up their real emotions and put on fake ones. So the kid who got told, stop acting, turns into the adult who says, I'm fine during a panic attack, or apologizes for crying at a funeral. And let's be real, a friendship fight in middle school felt like the end of the world. But if no one validated that pain, you probably became the adult who stays in toxic relationships because you were taught your distress wasn't valid in the first place. Here's what actually works. Instead of calling it drama, say, you're really upset about this. That's it. No judgment, no minimizing, just acknowledgement. Because those feelings were real then, and they're real now, even if the trigger looks small to someone else. P.S. There's a 2-sentence repair you can use tonight that fixes half of these. Keep an ear out. And if you think invalidating emotions was bad, wait until you see what happens when parents start comparing you to everyone else. Number 2, the why can't you be more like curse. Why can't you be more like your sister? The neighbor's kids doesn't act this way. Congratulations. You just taught your child they're the wrong version of themselves. Harvard research shows kids who grow up constantly compared to others don't get motivated. They get demolished. Their self-worth tanks, and they carry that not good enough soundtrack into adulthood. Every kid is running their own race on their own track. Comparing them is like asking why your fish can't climb trees like the neighbor's squirrel. Plot twist, the fish isn't motivated. It's drowning in shame. And here's the kicker. Those comparisons don't just disappear. They become an internal voice. 30 years later, you're still hearing, Sarah would have handled this better every time you face a challenge. The kid who was always compared grows into an adult who can't celebrate their wins because someone else did it faster. They can't start projects because someone else might do it better. They live paralyzed by a measuring stick that was never theirs. Want to do better? Try, I notice you're struggling with math. How can we work on this together? Focus on their race, not the neighbor's squirrel Olympics. Fun Sticko fact. Apparently, 97% of viewers don't subscribe, which means I'm basically giving out free therapy jokes with 0 child support payments. Do me a favor, tap subscribe. And if comparisons felt brutal, number 3 is the parenting move that basically turned kids into unpaid emotional janitors. Number 3, making you responsible for their emotions. Look what you're doing to your father. You're making mommy sad. Translation: congrats, 7-year-old. You now control the entire emotional climate of this household. Picture it, you break a vase while playing ball in the house. Instead of, we don't play ball inside, you get, mommy's crying because of you. Suddenly, you're not just a clumsy kid. You're basically an emotional terrorist with a soccer ball. Reality check. Kids shouldn't be managing adult feelings. They can barely manage their shoelaces. Half the time, they're on the wrong feet, and you want them to regulate your mood? Here's what a child's brain actually hears. When adults are sad, it's my fault. When adults are angry, I caused it. Their feelings are my responsibility. That's an absurd amount of power to give to someone who still believes in the tooth fairy. And the fallout? Kids who grow up responsible for parent emotions become adults who feel guilty just for taking up space. Sorry the bus was late. Sorry for global warming. Sorry my atoms exist. They become emotional contortionists, twisting into whatever shape keeps everyone else calm. Human emotional support animals who never signed up for the gig. Professional emotional janitors, constantly cleaning up messes that were never theirs. Your emotions are yours. Theirs are theirs. Full stop. Just when you thought childhood couldn't get more exhausting, number 4 is where parents turn discipline into a lifelong guilt subscription. Number 4, using guilt as discipline. After everything I've done for you, I sacrificed my whole life for you. Fine print. Welcome to childhood. Please sign here to begin your lifelong repayment plan. But here's the truth. Parenting isn't a loan. Kids don't owe emotional debt for being raised. Nobody asked to be born and agree to 18 years of guilt payments with interest. Psychology today shows guilt-based discipline doesn't build responsibility. It builds adults who feel guilty for existing. These are the people who say sorry for everything. Sorry, my eyelids blinked unevenly. Sorry, the moon's out tonight. That one's on me. They become adults who can't say no, who feel guilty for having boundaries, who treat self-care like theft. Real discipline isn't about guilt trips. It's about consequences. Your action hurt someone. Clear, teachable. You hurt me after all I've done. Emotional blackmail. One teaches accountability. The other teaches lifelong guilt. Also, there's one thing that flips guilt into accountability without a fight. And if guilt made you feel heavy, number 5 is the one that made love itself feel like a paycheck. Number 5, making love conditional on achievement. I'm proud of you for getting straight A's. Notice what's missing? Just, I'm proud of you. When love becomes something you earn with performance, it stops being love and starts being a paycheck. Kids internalize the rule. I am valuable when I achieve. Without achievement, I am nothing. So, the gifted kid praised for being smart, they grow up to have an identity crisis the first time they're average at their job. The athlete praised for winning, total meltdown the first time they're just ordinary. Fast forward to adulthood and you get people who apologize for resting, feel guilty for taking a nap, try to optimize grocery shopping like it's an Olympic sport. The cereal aisle in the national trials. You don't need a personal best in peas. And the burnout is brutal. It's like running on a treadmill where the speed keeps going up and the off switch is broken. Because when love feels conditional, you can never stop proving yourself. The fix? Strip out the scoreboard and name impact, not indebtedness. This action hurt someone. How do we repair it? Accountability, no guilt tax. I love watching you try new things. Or even better, I love you, period. No conditions attached. And if love felt conditional, number 6 is the one where even your joy got dismissed as a waste of time. Number 6, invalidating your interests. That's a waste of time. Why don't you do something useful? You're still playing with those silly cards. Yeah, those silly cards were teaching you math, negotiation, probability, and social strategy. But sure, Mom, tell me again how piano lessons were the only path to greatness. Let's be real. Half the kids forced into piano quit at 18 and haven't touched a key since. Meanwhile, the Pokemon crowd's out here running startups, calculating market value, and trading stocks like it's just shinier cardboard. Stanford research backs it up. When kids' interests are validated, they grow creativity and confidence. When dismissed, they learn one thing: joy doesn't matter. Approval does. So that Pokemon collection wasn't useless, but teaching your kid their passions are worthless, that sticks. Because every "that's a waste of time" becomes the voice in their head that says your joy isn't valid unless it looks impressive to someone else. And if trashing your hobbies was bad, number 7 is the one where even your private thoughts weren't safe. And there's a 4-word script that protects privacy and trust. If this hit home, tap like. The algorithm eats that up. Number 7, denying privacy and calling it trust. Why are you locking a door? What are you hiding? Oh, nothing, Mom. Just my soul. Reading diaries, snooping through drawers. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Right. Because nothing says healthy development like being waterboarded with trust issues. Here's the truth. Privacy isn't about secrets. It's about identity. MIT research shows kids who grow up without privacy end up with 2 modes in adulthood. Overshare everything. Here's my entire trauma arc on the first date. Or fortified castle walls. You'll know my middle name after 17 years of friendship. Trust doesn't grow from surveillance. It grows from respect. Try, your room is your space. I'll knock first. The 4-word script is exactly that. I'll knock first, okay? Boundaries plus respect equals future honesty. Because here's the irony. Parents break into kids' diaries and then act shocked when those same kids grow up and never tell them anything. And if you think snooping stung, wait until number 8, the phrase that trained us to minimize every struggle because someone else had it worse. Number 8, minimizing problems because others have it worse. You should be grateful. Some kids don't have food. Cool. And some kids have yachts. What's the point? Telling a kid to be grateful is like telling someone with food poisoning, at least you didn't eat 2 burritos. Reminder, pain isn't the Hunger Games. There's no prize for who suffers most. When parents pull the others have it worse card, kids learn their feelings only count if they qualify for the Olympics of suffering. Here's what that creates. Adults who break their leg and say, it's fine, at least I didn't break both, or who sit in therapy and whisper, honestly, it wasn't that bad, while clearly unraveling like a dollar store phone charger held together with hope and tape. A broken arm hurts whether someone else has too. Your problems don't need a leaderboard. Validation isn't about comparing pain. It's about saying, this is hard for you, and that makes sense. And if this one made you wince, brace yourself for number 9, the parenting move that messed with our bodies and our boundaries. Number 9, forcing physical affection. Go hug Aunt Martha. Don't be rude. Kiss Grandpa goodbye. In practice, your body isn't yours. It's customer service. The lesson? Other people's feelings matter more than your boundaries, which is why half of us grew up saying, sure, no problem, when we desperately wanted to scream, no thank you. Research shows forced affection wires kids to override their own discomfort just to keep adults happy. Fast forward 20 years, and you've got adults who apologize for saying no, feel guilty for setting boundaries, and let creepy coworkers side hug them because I don't want to make it awkward. Here's the healthier version. Would you like to hug, high five, or just wave? That's how you teach autonomy and politeness, because respect isn't about hugs on demand. It's about letting kids know your body, your choice. And if that one stung, wait for number 10. The move parents pulled that made apologizing look like weakness and raised a whole generation allergic to I'm sorry. And there's one more thing parents never realize until it's too late, but you're catching it now. Number 10, never apologizing. Parents who never said I'm sorry accidentally taught us the family motto, I am never wrong, ever. The result? Kids grow up thinking admitting mistakes equals weakness. Now you've got adults who would rather let a fight last 3 weeks than say, my bad, argue about semantics just to avoid conceding, and deliver the classic non-apology, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not an apology. That's a customer service coupon for feelings nobody ordered. But here's the truth. Apology isn't weakness. It's the duct tape that holds relationships together. It's repair. It's accountability. It's showing your kid that love is greater than ego. Strong parents model, I messed up. I'm sorry. Here's how I'll do better. That one sentence does more to build trust than 1,000 lectures ever could. Because in the end, kids don't need perfect parents. They need real ones, the kind who can own their mistakes. And that's the cycle breaker, because nothing says I love you like proving you're human too. Breaking the cycle. Your parents didn't do these things because they were villains. They did them because their parents did them. All the way back to cavemen yelling, stop being dramatic, after a saber-tooth ate the family goat. Now it's your turn. You'll mess up. You'll hear your mom's voice fly out of your mouth and panic. Oh no, I've become her. That's not failure. That's the moment you get to notice and shift. The goal isn't raising kids who are never hurt. It's raising kids who are hurt less and know repair is possible. Breaking cycles doesn't take perfection, just awareness, apology, and the guts to try again. And if you're here watching this, you've already started.